Not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
It's time to hit the pick. Touchdown! Sports betting, fantasy football, and the latest NFL news. Featuring Wow Desmond and Christian Giordani. Bet on us to make you a better bettor.
What?
It's time to hit the pick.
Welcome everyone to Hit the Pick. I'm joined by Loud, Esmond, and Tom, one of our best handicappers here at Hit the Pick. I'm your host, Christian Giordani. Mind you, if I sound like I'm dying, I'm getting out of a cold. Fellas, we've officially finished the first week of NFL football. How do you guys feel?
I did okay on the picks. I think I went something like 4-2. Tom, how'd you do?
I did the same, actually. 4-2. Yeah, week one. Last night.
I think Delano won week one. I know he was like 4-0 against the spread or something. I think he was like 6-1 on the weekend. I did pretty good in both college and NFL. NFL is usually a little bit stronger for me. But college, I'm doing okay. Got some college picks. College picks to talk about tonight as well. So, but first, let's get to know Tom a little bit. So, Tom, how did you get started in this industry?
I don't know. I grew up in the restaurant business, Italian family. I used to play the football slips back in the day, Juan, and decided I learned how to really do it.
And you were a professional, very successful professional video game guy as well, right?
I wouldn't say professional, but yes, I did very well back in the day. I haven't played in a long time though.
What was your game?
NHL. I played FIFA, soccer. I was pretty good at a lot of sports games.
Man, I could never master that fast button pushing. That was like not a strength of mine. So I wasn't a great athlete on the field or on the screen. Either way was not really my game, just so to speak. Anyway, you have an interesting way of handicapping because I'm a visual handicapper as well as a numbers guy. I want to see both. But you mainly do your handicapping. I understand from talking to you a number of times. You're looking at things a lot of people aren't looking at, and you don't necessarily watch any games that you handicap. What is your system? What do you do? What are you looking for?
Well, basically, I want dogs. I want unders. That's what the public doesn't like. Well, I want to see what the market's doing compared to what my data is telling me, and then I'm going to go off of that. I like to look for winning streaks, losing streaks. I'm not trying to jump in front of them. I'm trying to ride on them.
Okay. All right. So we're not into streak land yet, but is there anybody this weekend that you just really, really love that you don't have a premium play on that you can talk about?
What do we want to do? College or?
Let's go college first.
All right. So, UAB plays Tulane or Akron, I think. So I actually like the over in that. UAB has been very, very strong offensively. This number in the market has been going up. I think the total opened at 45.5. We're around 54.5. We're at 57, 57.5. They're starting to pop up. But Akron doesn't have the greatest offense. They really don't score at all. But UAB does. And UAB's defense is really bad. So I think we're going to see points here. The spread, I think, is around 13.5. I actually think we're going to see a blowout. So I like UAB to cover that as well. UAB is playing at home.
Right. Tonight, we have this game going already. We've got Houston, Colorado. Looks like we just picked up a penalty on Colorado, late hit on the quarterback. It is already 3-0 Houston. They are at the 5-yard line, 1st and goal. So I think you and I are both on Houston -4, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Colorado's defense. Yeah, I think Houston's going to shred this up.
Touchdown,
Same thing.
Houston.
Market like them. Houston.
Yeah.
Yes.
Touchdown, Houston. So I'm an anti. One of the things that I look for is when I see an absolute ton of money going one direction in a game, I generally go the other way.
Yeah, I like to stay away from the consensus plays. I won't necessarily say that I'll jump on the other side, but usually it's a game that I'm not gonna mess with it at all.
So now the public generally loses. I mean, historically, that's why there are those big hotels in Vegas, right? Because the public generally doesn't win. Usually the public loses. And that's why I like those contrarian plays. But, last year during the NFL season, the public did great.
Yeah, NFL's not my best sport. yeah. NFL's tough. Sometimes you get good ones on the data, especially like the island games. You want to go contrarian for that because the books don't necessarily care as much because they're getting so much money on a certain side. So that's when you want to go to the other side, to the contrarian side.
So you said island games, meaning the standalone, like Monday night or Thursday night?
Yeah,
because more money gets bet on those, right?
Correct. Yeah, because they're the only games, so everybody's betting on them.
Right, because gamblers are degenerates, and they don't do the smart thing, which is, you should be picking games that you feel very, very strongly about. And so for me, I follow certain teams very closely. Now, because I'm in the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, Oregon State, Portland State, some of the, private smaller colleges that have programs like Gonzaga in basketball, you get good local news. And a lot of times, like if there's an injury to somebody who isn't a marquee player, that news won't make it into the national news or big news feeds on betting. But if you're local, you see that coverage. Like I make it a point to subscribe to the blogs and the podcasts of all the local beat writers that follow certain teams where I am, because I pick up more information and I tend to bet a lot on those programs. Like for example, Portland State is terrible. I have bet against them and bet them to not cover the spread in the first two games, won both. Now they're going up against Hawaii. Now that is an FCS. I'm sorry, FBS, not an FCS. So they're tier 2 in college football, and those lines don't often go up until hours before the game. Mm-hmm. And so you've got those are the extra games, the ones that aren't on the main feed for college. I find that I do better betting more obscure games than super high profile games. Like LSU, Florida, I won't touch. Texas against Texas Tech. I mean, those kind of games, I just stay away from. I find that you can find better value in lines on less marquee games. Now, what do you think about that in your experience?
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I'm the same way. I'm not looking for the games that are on TV. I'm looking for the games that are going to give me an edge. But sometimes I do like some stuff in some big games. There's actually two. Miami plays South Florida this weekend on Saturday, and Miami had off last week. Why South Florida upset Florida? They're going to be on a high. I think I want to take Miami first half to cover the first half. It's -9. And then on the other side, another team with the bye is Notre Dame. They play Texas A&M. And I'm going to do the same thing there. I'm going to take the first half spread on that one as well, just because they had the extra rest. It's early in the season. they get extra time to prepare. So those are two big marquee games, but I'm looking at it as a different way rather than a side or total.
So the angle there is you're looking for teams that have had extra rest because they're going to come out fresher in the first half than the team that doesn't, and that's why you take the first half there.
Correct.
Interesting. Another team that stinks here, Oregon State, is local to me. They are at Texas Tech. They are not a good team in general. They're even worse on the road. Texas Tech is minus 24.5. Tech has scored north of 60 points in their first two games. And I don't think Oregon State, even though they're a higher level team in terms of division than the other two teams that Texas Tech has played, I don't think they're that much better. I would take this up to maybe as high as 27.5. What do you think about that play? Oregon State at Texas Tech taking a big number.
Yeah, so when I first looked at this, I actually thought about taking Oregon State. I thought it was too big a number. But yeah, this Texas Tech, one of the highest paid teams in the nation, and they have talent all over the place. I agree with you. I think they should smoke this team.
It's just, I generally try to find teams that I can consistently bet on and win. Like last year, one of my biggest winners, I had two that just won me a ton of money. It was Ole Miss overs and Ole Miss covering, which happened a lot, even though they played a lot of high numbers. I mean, into the mid 60s and high 60s, and they just kept covering. And then Army just got underestimated all season long. And I kept taking Army to win and cover, and they did most of the time, which is odd because the Service Academy is another group of teams that I follow very closely, Army, Navy, and Air Force. Really interesting number with them to note. As a double-digit favorite, they cover less than 30% of the time. As a double-digit dog, they cover 80% of the time. So it's a very odd number with them. Navy is at Tulsa. Tulsa's catching 14.5. That's the side I would play if I played any side in that game. And then Air Force is minus like 4.5 at Utah State. I actually took the money line with Air Force at like minus 155. Any thoughts on either one of those? You want to tell me I'm wrong?
No, I don't want to tell you you're wrong. I agree.
Am I? You agree with both? Okay.
Yeah.
Utah minus 23.5 at Wyoming. Can you still believe that Josh Allen played at Wyoming? I mean, Wyoming's terrible. How he ended up there, and now he's only the greatest quarterback in the NFL right now. So Utah minus 23.5, Wyoming. I think that's an easy play there. I don't see how Wyoming stays with them.
Yeah, well, Wyoming is a cool stadium, though. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Utah is probably the best team in the Big 12 here. It's tough to travel to Laramie.
Yeah, it's a hard place to play.
But yeah, I think Utah is the right side.
You, I believe, had a free play on Minnesota Cal, correct? That was in the newsletter.
Yes. That's one of the last games.
It's one of the last games. Yeah, it's a get right. That's the game everybody's running to the ATM and going, what's left to bet? Because I lost all the games earlier today. Minnesota Cal is a late one, and then Portland State Hawaii is a late one. That line on Portland State isn't out yet. It's probably be like minus 27.5.
38.5. 38.5.
Oh, it is 38.5.
Yes.
I'm still playing it. Portland State's just terrible. And Hawaii will be able to score on them. It will. Boston College is minus 10 at Stanford. That's another late West Coast game. Stanford sucks. And I think Boston College is going to be way too physical with them. BYU beat Stanford by like 60, right?
They may have, but Boston College quarterback's pretty good.
Yeah, no, and I love the coach. He really struggled in the NFL with the Texans, but he's a great college coach. So just to recap the college plays we're talking about here, Texas Tech minus 24.5 with Oregon State. The Beavers coming into town. Tom, you like the Miami Hurricanes in the first half. What about for the whole game? Are they going to beat South Florida by 16.5?
I kind of feel like they do. My only concern is the backdoor cover by South Florida. The thing about South Florida is that all their touchdowns have been big play touchdowns. I don't know that their defensive front is strong enough to get to the quarterback. I just think this Miami team is much, much better. Miami has a great defense too.
Houston is kind of moving the ball at will now against Colorado's defense. They just had a simple crossing pattern that just went for about 35 yards, and they're back on the plus side of the field. Navy Tulsa, I would go Tulsa plus 14.5, Utah minus 23.5, Wyoming, Air Force money line, Utah State. Minnesota, I think you went money line. I'm going minus 2.5 with the Golden Gophers at Cal. Cal struggled to beat Portland State, and Portland State is awful. Boston College minus the 10 at Stanford, Portland State minus 38. Portland, Hawaii minus 38.5 with Portland State coming into town. Those are the free plays that I'll give out here. Christian, any news on your Rams, and why did their offense suck last week?
Not much news on the Rams. No injuries going into weeks 2. No major injuries, at least. To answer your question on why the Rams offense stunk it up last week, is just Texans have a great defense. That secondary, Derek Stingley Jr., along with the others, is probably one of the best in the league. We had issues getting the ball to our playmakers. Puka Nacua was out for a few reps, dealing with the head injury and an eye injury as well. Devontae Adams took a little bit.
Yeah, he took a shot, man.
He took 2 head-to-head shots back-to-back in the same play.
And he got stitches in the forehead during the game. He came back and played. That dude's tough. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they make them some boys tough, man. Devontae Adams had a little trouble getting motion in the game. Only 7 catches for 70 yards towards the end, but the defense is what really stood out for the Rams.
Yeah. All right, so some NFL interesting things. The 49ers are riddled with injuries. Brock Purdy won't play. Kittle won't play. That receiver, Juwan Jennings, is questionable. I don't think he can play. Their offense is going to be Christian McCaffrey and Mac Jones at quarterback. Saints are terrible. They got into the red zone like 6 or 8 times and scored once. If there's any game that screams 13-10, it's the 49ers at the Saints this weekend. That over-under number opened at 44.5. It's at 40.5 now. I'm still on that under, Tom.
Yeah, I agree with that too. This New Orleans offense can't really move the ball. I don't know what Mac Jones is going to do, but I feel like they're going to have to run the ball against New Orleans because they have nobody to throw it to. I do like Ricky Pearsall props. I think him and Mac Jones are going to have some chemistry.
Chemistry there.
So yeah, that's someone I'd look out for. But I'd have to agree with that under too. I don't see a lot of scoring here.
There were a lot of teams that were putrid on offense. Patriots and Dolphins, both were terrible on offense. That over-under opened 45.5. The Publix pushed that down to 43.5. I would be tempted on the under there, but it's not a play that I've made. Rams Titans, that opened at 45.5. It's down to 41.5. I liked it at 45.5. I'm not sure at 41.5 because I think the Rams, Christian's right. It was the Texans' defense more than it was the Rams' offense being bad. So that is one that I would have maybe played at 45.5. I'm not sure at 41.5. Bills Jets. The Jets looked better on offense than I expected, Tom. That's for sure.
Well, you know I like Justin Fields. But yeah,
I know you do. I'm giving you an opportunity to say I told you so. When I said earlier in the season he was going to suck.
It's only one game. But yeah, I didn't think they were going to move the ball like that on Pittsburgh. If the line moved away from where I wanted to get it against the Bills, if I could have got to 7.5, I probably would have jumped on the Jets. But I just think it moved too much.
Over-under in this game went from 44.5 to 47.5. I'm still tempted on the over on this game because I think the Jets are going to score at least 21, maybe 24. But think about the Bills. The Bills just had a massive, historic comeback against the Ravens. They played late into the night. It's a short week for them. I know that they don't have to go anywhere. They're only going basically across the state. But still, the Bills are good for 35 points in that game, aren't they?
You would assume so. They're on the road, yeah. They're playing in New Jersey. So, yeah, that might be tough. But I don't know how good this Jets defense is, at least not yet. I think they're going to be a pretty good unit by the end of the season.
A game that I think the total has moved too low. Seahawks at Steelers. The Seahawks, maybe the Seahawks won't score north of 17, but I think the Steelers are good for 28, 24 points, don't you? At home?
And they could be. This is Aaron Rodgers' first home game, too, so he might light it up. There is someone I do like on there, Zach Charbonnet, the running back for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to get top guy targets or touches. So, I took his over yards last week. I'm going to do that again this week. I'll take him for a touchdown, too.
I think the Seahawks coaching there, I think they're going for his home run capability. Kenneth Walker is a battering ram, but he doesn't have breakaway speed. So Charbonnet does. I think that's what their decision is there. Any games against the spread that you like? One that jumps out at me is the Browns-Raven line. Open 12.5. In some places, it's down to 11.5. You can still get 12.5 at DraftKings and a couple of other spots, MGM. It just seems like a lot of points in a divisional game.
It does. I can't. I don't lay points like that. So I'd be on nothing for that. I do actually like the Bengals to cover the spread against the Jaguars. I think Cleveland's defense is good, and that's what we saw.
Cleveland's defense is great, and they know the Bengals, and Joe Burrow is my fantasy quarterback. So this opened up at 5.5. The play on this for me is I'm going to buy the hook and take it to 3 and take the minus 115 as opposed to the minus 105. It might actually push me to minus 125 if I do that. But still, I hate hooks. When I was a young bettor, I lost, it feels like countless games at 3.5 and it was 3, or 7.5 and it was 7, or 10.5 and it was 10. Do you ever buy points? Because Scott Steen, our buddy, one of the founders that Hit the Pick, tells me all the time, professional bettors never buy points.
No, I do not buy points. But I have enough books that I could usually find the number that I want in the first place. But yeah,
well,
I don't
VIP. You're a VIP bettor at books, so people are like, "Oh, we got to take Tom's action, so give him the line that he wants," right?
Yeah,
that's the play. Giants Cowboys. A lot of people I'm hearing love the Cowboys minus 5.5 in this game. I'm not sure. I didn't love what I saw out of the Cowboys, and their defense without Micah Parsons is not great. But the Giants do sort of suck. So, yeah, maybe I'll stay away from that game. Bears Lions.
Hold on, I took team total for. I took the team total for Dallas. I was actually on the Giants last week. They look awful. I thought their defense was going to be better than it was. It's not. When Dak Prescott plays,
the problem for the Giants defense is the offense because they can't keep the defense off the field.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see what they decide to do with quarterback or whatever they do. But yeah, the offense can't move the ball at all. Giants.
Broncos at the Colts. Was what we saw from Danny Dimes and the Colts bad Dolphins or good Colts?
Bad Dolphins.
Thank you, Christian. There he is. I knew you were still on the show.
Well, I'm sorry, man, but like I'm a Daniel Jones lover. I love Daniel Jones. That's Vanilla Vic, man. But the two turnovers in the first 4 possessions, 4 snaps.
Yeah, I don't think Daniel Jones is nearly as bad as the Giants made him look. Mm-hmm. And the Giants are so stupid. This is the team that gave away Saquon Barkley. I mean, holy shit! Is there anything as dumb as the Giants? No. Oh, you know who's dumber? Jerry Jones. Sorry about that. I love betting on the Buccaneers. They're plus 2.5 against the Texans. I'm going to play the hell out of that. And yeah, I'm going to buy half a point and get it to 3. So
1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah, I also like the Buccaneers. It looks like they're getting healthy. Godwin might play. Christian Wirfs might play. I think they're going to sling the ball around.
Agree. Lou, I got a quick question for you before we go out. Falcons at Minnesota, minus 3.5 for Minnesota. Do you buy that half point?
What game again?
Falcons at Minnesota.
Yeah, I buy hooks. That's just me. I'm traumatized from losing on the hook. So I generally, if I'm going to bet a side and I'm worried about the hook, I will buy it down. And it takes the game from like minus 105, minus 115 to like minus 125, 130. Chargers minus 3, easy against the Raiders. Commanders, boy, I really thought they would do better against the Packers, but boy, the Packers look great. Tom, thanks for being here. I know it's later for you on the West Coast. Those of us on the West Coast just getting into the drinking hours, and Tom is well into them and still standing and doing the program. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you guys for listening to Hit the Pick. We'll see you guys next week. Tom, thanks for coming in.
Let's catch some tickets.